get involved in it now, or when's the soonest you can start to do something like that?
So if you go to drowningawareness.org, you will see our brand new website. It's simply a landing page right now, but we should be up and running in a couple months. We're developing the website, and essentially it'll just be a fundraising website. And it's not just for swim teams or organizations that want to be a part of this. Anyone can really be a part of this. So if you, instead of, I usually go swimming at the rec center yesterday with my friend Bob here. And if Bob said, instead of swimming, we're going to tread, Bob could create his own page on our website. He could get people to donate to the International Water Safety Foundation through him treading water at the rec center, you know, yesterday. Yes.
What sort of outreach do you have to swimming organizations that are out there, like the Olympics and all this and that, to get them involved?
So I think this is like one of the things where like my skill set really comes in. I swam at Old Dominion, I coached at Old Dominion. I have a vast network inside of swimming, ultimately because of the company Swim Nerd that we've created. We've got one of the most prolific swimming Twitter accounts in the world, as silly as that may sound. But we reached over 1 million people in the month of August, just on Twitter for free. The International Swim Coaches Association is here in Virginia. Doug Fonder is a very good friend of mine, who has helped endorse Swim Nerd to the global swimming communities. So we feel very confident getting into the swimming world. That's already been set up through decades worth of work.
Thank you for presenting. I have 2 questions. So you guys are in Cambodia. How long do you foresee it will take to where you're teaching them and the change starts to happen, where they are teaching their kids to swim and the drowning goes from 6 to 4 to 3 to 2? So how long do you plan on working in Cambodia? And then where's the next location that you guys are thinking of to move to? Or are you going to be doing multiple locations at once?
That's a great question. I think, Conrad, that's all you, buddy.
That's how we'll choose the first province. Every province in Cambodia has pretty much the same drowning risk, the same high drowning risk, so it doesn't really matter which place we choose because the risk is the same. And then we're looking at a 5-year program and then rolling out that to 10 years. So by the end of year 5, we're going to be looking towards a volunteer structure and peer mentors and peer educators rolling out, so that'll give us a wider spread. But the first thing we need to concentrate the first 2 years is investing in swimming teachers. At the moment, all the best swimming teachers are linked up with international schools who can pay good wages, and it's about raising new swimming teachers all the time. That'll be our first thing to do. And once we have one team of 6 to start, we'll look at one province and start from there and roll it out that way. We've got set programs designed in place for different age bands, starting with age 5 for the first year.
And then to answer your question, you know, how do we choose the next one? What the International Water Safety Foundation is going to do is we're going to create a global advisory board, essentially bring in the best of the best people from all over the world and help us vet the next project that we focus on funding. We can do little projects, we can do big projects. We kind of see this as, you know, just the springboard to anything. A lot of people are drowning because they have to cross the river every day. That's a fast-flowing stream, right? So, okay, this is Moses Kalanzi from Uganda. This is May 15th of 2016 at International Water Safety Day. So he's presenting to children basically saying our 10 water safety rules that we created over the last few years. But as you can see, like, they're just trying to cross the river. How can't we just fund a project that provides the building materials to so that we can build a little bridge over there? Yeah, probably so. Botswana has called. They can't even train their own lifeguards. They have to leave the country to go get trained to be a lifeguard and then come back. And there's no trainers actually in Botswana. So it's when you look at it, it's a pretty big undertaking. But we've got to start somewhere, and it's with Swim Cambodia. Yes?
What are your first steps? What is your plan? Is it to hire a few? It sounds to me like you need somebody to go to Africa, a couple of teachers, and move around to places.
I think
what's the plan?
I think our plan is we need money and we need awareness. So we created the Treadathon. My job is to go to these swim teams like Mark Hill here from ODAC or Sandra Jones from Tide and say, would you guys like to do a Treadathon to raise money for kids that are dying? And I would hope that they would say yes. And then we start getting the money to flow. Once the money starts coming in, we continue with our awareness program. So we're funding our own awareness grant program, essentially, where we just send 10 water safety rules to any school system that wants them with a little one-page curriculum that explains the 10 rules so that the teacher can, we can start getting the basic awareness out. Yeah, we are going to have to go to Africa. We're going to have to go to Cambodia. We're going to have to travel a lot, I would imagine. But right now, there's no money to do that, and there's no awareness to get the money. So that's where we are. Yes?
Just a quick question. What's the main thrust? Is it to teach swimming, or is it to teach water safety, or not, don't panic, or, I mean, what is the main thrust? Because we know there are lots of strokes. We all watch the Olympics and swimming and stuff, but
it's really not, when we talk about swimming like that, it's not the same, right? This is, hey, can you tread water? This is survival swimming skills. So it starts, correct me if I'm wrong, Conrad, but it starts with a water safety education program, then there's survival skills, then safe rescue skills so that people can actually rescue each other, which for you people that aren't in the drowning world is one of the biggest reasons why more people drown is because someone's drowning, they don't know how to drown, instinctively they try to go drown them, save them, and they drown also. Yeah, reach or throw, don't go is one of the most famous water safety rules. That's a big part of it. And then obviously proper CPR. Survival swimming.
Any stroke, just to get from A to B and get to do self-rescue with the water as well. Very important.
Self-rescue?
Yeah. So how to get themselves on their back when they're feeling tired. And we use this manual here, called the Aquatic Survival Manual. It's a very easy to teach manual to teach other trainers who are around the water and get them to the stage and roll it out into a wider spread. So then from there, once they've done that, they can progress onto other swimming skills. But once we've protected them is the main thing, protecting them around the water. It's around drowning prevention is the main thing. So it's a mix of water safety, survival skills, rescue and CPR.
How many lessons, will it take for a kid to learn, or generally that can happen fairly quickly, right? It's not like, again, learning strokes, you can do it.
I think what you have, what do you have, Conrad? 3 weeks of 5 lessons each, so 15 lessons, and then that's their survival swimming? That's right.
Yeah, and then with some of those it extend to 4 weeks depending, but generally that's right, that's what we found with the Aquatic Survival Program. That's how long it takes, 3 weeks, 5 days.
Right, so 3 weeks, 5 lessons each week, 15 total lessons to do the survival swimming. And what Conrad was saying is that they're using an open source curriculum. Again, all this stuff has already been created, right? We know they're drowning, we know it's affordable, we know it's preventable. Here's the open source curriculums. It's It's really that simple as Mike Lennon wrote. Just go and get it done.
So you've got the Swim Cambodia curriculum and a plan. Is that transportable to other countries like Uganda or Botswana or in the Caribbean? Can you use that? And secondly, what do you consider to be a critical mass? You've got 20 to 30 swim instructors in Cambodia now. What would be a critical mass at some point that you would say, okay, we trained this many swim instructors, we could now move on to the next country?
I think the drowning issue in Cambodia is so significant. It will be difficult to quantify that, but I think it could take decades to get over the cultural shift that we've got in high-income countries of having 4 lifeguards, of having swimming teachers and swimming instructions throughout the whole formal school system. That would be a big one, and that might take quite a long time for the government to embed that into the whole school system, as we have in the UK and you have in the US. That might take quite a while, but it's doable, and that's our big aim. So yeah, we would look at other countries once we were happy with Cambodia that was implemented.
So that's one of your biggest problems, is sort of overcoming the cultural roadblocks, if you will, or speed bumps in trying to get these folks to change how they're doing business.
Yeah, and the people have a very high intention to save. I did some focus groups there a few years ago, and they want to save, and they want to provide a safe place for children to play and swim, and they want to be at ease with child protection and injury as well. So poverty is a big issue in Cambodia, that they go to work and they'll leave their children unattended or with siblings, and often that's who's drowning. It's a lack of child supervision. So there's wider injury around that. Things like having gates and child pens, playpens, fences, and in the right place, signage. There's all a lot of wider injury prevention things. They found in Bangladesh, the playpens especially can prevent all types of injury, including drowning.
Right. So Bangladesh is where they really first started doing the studies, and they found that 18,000 children were drowning every single year. And essentially they just started putting child care centers together and layers of protection to keep them in these pens instead of them just roaming around and then finding water and boop, you're gone, and you're gone so fast you don't even know it. And to answer your question, the aquatic survival program is made specifically, the curriculum is specifically made for low and middle income countries. But yeah, every country is different, right? Like Cambodia, like this is where we're drowning, this is how we're drowning. Uganda's obviously got other issues. They have a lot of fast moving water. High income countries, I like to say that we're great at preventing drownings, because we have legislation that says like you have to have a fence around your pool and things like that, and we have the great rec centers and the YMCA's and all. We have everything. The only thing we don't have is like any awareness or education in the school system at all. Do we teach any kid how to go to the beach and survey the beach when they walk out to the beach in Virginia Beach? That's ludicrous! That is absolutely insane that we don't teach them. How are they supposed to want to go to the beach to learn how to swim if we're not even telling them, hey, you should go learn how to swim? Yes.
Well, speaking of kids, I don't know if you've already, I mean, it sounds like you're at the very beginning of this, but if you want to start doing these treadathons, I think a really good target market would be to go to the kids who are swimming, whether it's the swim clubs or teams, and have them, because kids want to help kids, and their parents would be all over that. So I think that would be a good place to start.
I couldn't agree with you more, and that's what I've been saying about the treadathon. Is this is going to empower children, to help children, and make it, I would bet. So right now, let me explain this. Swimathon raised $46 million over the last 10 years. 95% goes to the teams, 5% goes to water safety in America. The British Swimathon raised $40 million, and Against Malaria, the #1 rated charity in the world, is funded by swimmers going swimming. we're already, swimmers are already raising all this money, it's just not for swimming, unfortunately. And that's because we just don't know. I don't want anyone to feel bad. Like, it's amazing. I talk to swim coaches. This is the reason I got into it, is because I'm a swim coach and I didn't know. And now I'm telling other swim coaches and they don't know. The people that are better at training people to swim don't have a clue that we're losing over 1 million people every year. Yes, sir.
Why don't you integrate it into the Peace Corps? Because they're already there, they're already on the ground, they're already living with the villages. They make $70 to $100 a month, so you don't have any, they're already paid. You don't have any deployment problems in these markets.
We haven't even thought about that.
And tie into the UN NGOs.
That's a little bit more difficult than you would think, right? I mean,
Which one?
I don't have a problem picking the phone up. No one calls me back. I mean, this is the UN, this is the World Health Organization.
You can sign up for the UN on your own. Go to their website and you sign up to follow their 156 things. But the Peace Corps is through the State Department.
So maybe get up with the Peace Corps and find out how we do.
They're in every country.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them, and they're already on the ground.
You
They're
guys
all
work
over
with the Peace
Africa.
Corps in Cambodia?
They got in touch last week and we're hooking them up with a community that we're going to work with next month. So yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, that's really your deployment strategy, not putting people in Africa. Are you kidding me? I mean, if you've gone to the mine sites, they're probably drowning in the rice fields and the mine sites.
Yes, they
People
are.
are barely eating. I mean, it's kind of...
Yeah, so we have we know a lot of people, I mean, obviously around the world, like Viraj Ramaharaj from Mauritius is one of our main contacts out there, and he's been to Uganda, and he said it's very tough. Like, yeah, you're walked around with people with guns, like you have a complete safety unit with you.
Also, engineers, like you have the problem with the bridges in Uganda. So, Engineers Without Borders, that's another organization.
Oh,
they actually do stuff like that. So,
Perfect.
It's a group, you know, again, the same way.
No, thank you. Someone else had a, yes,
I'm Rosemary Wilson, I'm on Virginia Beach City Council, and
thank you for coming.
thank you asked me to come,
I
and you
sure
asked
did.
about what we were doing here. He's so right about the drowning. The CDC in our country has named drowning the second leading cause of death for children that are 16 and younger, and that's right here in our country. 70% of African Americans don't swim, and African Americans die 3 times the rate of any other group. So I almost drowned as a child. So I admire your passion. You can see it, you can feel it, and I've had a similar passion because of my own experience that we live in a water community and we have children. I mean, we hear about our own children drowning. So 3 years ago, I was able to partner the city with the schools, and we started small with a pilot program in about 4 schools with second graders, and it's a 2-week program. And we taught about 400 children to swim. We did it again last year through. This year, we're going to have 1,400 children we're going to teach. So
Thank you.
we're doing that. We are doing something here, and we need this to grow. I mean, we have, you know, we think of ourselves as a wealthy city, and actually we have 25 to 30% of our children are on free lunch, so that's not really as wealthy as you would think. And there's a lot of children who've never even seen the beach that live
Right.
in SeaTac. So anyway, we're the first 2 years I totally went out and I raised all the money for this, and this year the city and schools put up some grant money, and it's like $2,000 a school to teach the second graders, so it's not an expensive thing. But anyway, that is what we're doing here, and I think it's fantastic what you're doing, because their problem is gigantically worse than ours.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, I've been following along with the program since day one, and it's great to finally see, like, when we first got into this, we created International Water Safety Day, which is just May 15th, and it's about awareness. And it basically built into this foundation because of the number of people that have been calling, asking us for help, and we kind of had, I mean, we see ourselves as the piece of the puzzle that actually gets the fundraising going so that these projects can be put into place. But you're exactly right. Like, we're not learning to swim at all. Like I was saying earlier, we're great at preventing drownings in America. We're just horrible at learning to swim, right? And the crazier thing is that we should be learning how to swim because of how much better it is for everybody. Hillary Clinton was talking last night about how preschool is so important to her. You know what? If your kid learned how to swim, it'd probably be better than preschool. The studies show, doesn't matter socioeconomic-wise, if you learn to swim between the ages of 3 and 5, you're going to have better math skills than your peers. You're going to have better oral expression. You're going to have better motor visual skills. You're just going to be way ahead of everybody else. So if you want your kid to have a step up in life, teach them to swim as young as possible, which is one of the reasons, like Sandra said, she's really interested here because they're really trying to get a swim school started. Well, wouldn't that be a great thing to tell parents? If you come and learn how to swim, your child will be better off and further in front than the kids that didn't. And then you have the leadership aspect of learning to swim and becoming a lifeguard. Look at the numbers in terms of financial capabilities and college degrees and swimmers that own homes. They also did a massive study that showed swimmers die less than runners, walkers, or couch potatoes, and it's not even close. So swimming isn't just, we're not just trying to save kids' lives, we're trying to do the whole spectrum here. And that's what the whole entire conversation really needed to be about, is why aren't we learning to swim? It's affordable, and it's going to give your kids a leg up, and it's going to give them a skill set. I mean, I was a lifeguard. My first job was at Woodbridge Apartments on Greenbrier Parkway. I was 15 years old, and I had to spend money to get a certificate to go to school so I could then go work. And my first day on Memorial Day, I had 2 saves as a 15-year-old. The leadership capabilities that are instilled in lifeguards and people that know how to swim is just vastly underrated. Most of everything in these slides that we didn't even talk about are just, they're residual benefits that we can't even, it's hard to factor them in. Any other questions?
Is basic survival swimming something that can be passed from generation to generation? If we go into these countries and we teach these children how to swim, at least at a basic level, is this something that they can then pass on to their children to prevent the problem going forward?
Great question. Conrad?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, very true. That's what we want to train up is the parents who are involved in this and the older siblings, our community members, police chiefs, fire chiefs, different community members to keep it sustainable, keep it rolling on, so that we're creating. It's a really easy program that we're teaching. We're not teaching very high competency swimming skills. This is just like protection, and something we can train teachers up in a matter of weeks. And so, yeah, this could roll out and become a generation thing.
Awesome.
So, our final question for today, unless someone's got anything. What can 1 million cups do for you?
Well, Jerry Jones, the famous owner of the Dallas Cowboys, once said, here are the 5 things to fundraising. The first, most important key is you have to ask for the money. And I don't remember the other 4. So I'm asking you guys for the money. It's 501c3 tax deductible. You can go to drowningawareness.org, click the donate button, and help us get started in creating massive global sustainable learn to swim programs and awareness programs throughout the entire planet. And thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming.
Conrad.
Bye-bye, Conrad.
Thanks, Conrad.
Until next time.